Hi, and welcome to this video about the truth about dropshipping. So dropshipping it's a popular e-commerce business model that's attracted a lot of attention in recent years, but there's also a lot of misconceptions about it. So in this video, we'll clear up some of those misconceptions and give you a better understanding of exactly what dropshipping is all about. So in its simplest form, dropshipping involves an online retailer selling products from a supplier who then ships the product directly to the customer. The retailer doesn't have to worry about buying any inventory up front or storing it in a warehouse. This can be really convenient and a cost-effective way to start an e-commerce business because it requires very little upfront investment and allows for more flexibility in terms of what products can be sold. Like, you may have seen examples of things like fidget spinners, which were popular about a year or two ago, but there's also all those little lights, LED lights, those kind of things, toys. They work very well for drop shipping, and all the gimmicky kind of gadget things that are popular for a little bit. They're very popular for drop shipping. So I think it is important to understand, though, that drop shipping is not a get rich quick scheme. So like any business, it requires hard work, dedication to be successful. It's also important to do thorough research and choose reliable suppliers to ensure a smooth fulfillment process and, of course, happy customers. So despite the potential challenges, dropshipping can be a very lucrative and rewarding way to sell products online if you approach it with the right mindset and strategy. So one of the main advantages of dropshipping is the low upfront investment required, because you don't have to buy any inventory up front. You can get started with a much smaller budget. This can be really appealing for entrepreneurs who don't have a lot of capital to invest in like a traditional brick and mortar store. So compare that to opening up, say you wanted to open up a pizza place. Well, you need like $150,000 in cash to do so. Say you want to open up a Starbucks. Well, you need what, like $500,000 in cash to do that? So this is an e-commerce business that's very simple with very low barrier to entry for guys like you and me and gals like you. So another benefit of dropshipping is the flexibility that it offers in terms of what products you can sell. Because you don't have to worry about buying and storing inventory, you can offer a wider range of products without being limited by storage space or inventory management. This allows you to easily test different product ideas and see what works best for your business. And then you can also go down the rabbit hole of, once you test, say, 10 products and you find one that works very well, you can now start buying that in bulk. So buy like a shipping container and have a warehouse and have employees, and you can internalize all of the distribution side of it. And that's where you're not really drop shipping anymore, but you've taken drop shipping and you've expanded it to a real like bricks and mortar business, which is a route that a lot of people take. So, I mean, additionally, because the supplier is responsible for fulfilling orders, you have more time to focus on other aspects of your business, like marketing and getting more customers. So this can be really helpful for guys like you and me with limited resources, as it allows us to build and grow our customer base and revenue without having to worry about the time-consuming tasks involved in fulfillment. So overall, the low upfront costs and flexibility in product offerings make drop shipping a very popular choice for many e-commerce entrepreneurs. So I mean, while there certainly are advantages to drop shipping, it's important to be aware of the potential challenges as well. And one of the main issues is that you have less control over the fulfillment process. So if your supplier runs into problems, it can lead to delays in shipping and ultimately result in very unhappy customers. That's not a good thing. This is really concerning if you're dealing with perishable or time-sensitive products. So if somebody's buying, say, a gift for Christmas and they don't get it in time for Christmas to have it under the tree, well, you're now on the hook. Or if it's like Valentine's Day, there's specific deadlines, right? So if they don't have it by February 14th, now you're going to be in trouble. So you're going to run into a lot of issues with customers, and that can affect your business a big time, which I've experienced too. So you don't want to be missing the deadlines. Another downside of dropshipping is that you may not be able to offer the same level of customer service as a traditional retailer. Because you don't hold any inventory, you might not be able to offer returns or exchanges if a product is defective or not quite as described. So this can be a drawback for customers who are used to the convenience and flexibility of the traditional retailers, right? Finally, I mean, because you don't have control over the fulfillment process like at all, you might have also less you can't really see the quality and the reliability of the products you're selling. This can be a problem if you have a high return rate or a lot of customer complaints. So while the issues can be mitigated by thoroughly researching and choosing reliable suppliers, it's important to be aware of the challenges and be prepared to deal with them. So what I found too is if I go to AliExpress and I order something and there's like 5 different results, well, one supplier might be new to it, one supplier might be a little bit more experienced, but I always found that the ones that do more volume have the best communication. So if you are going to order a sample, make sure you send a message to them first and see how quickly they respond. And if the response time to your customer service inquiry before you've even bought anything is super slow, then you don't want to be using them as a supplier because they're just going to tick off your customers, which is going to result in returns, and that's going to result in chargebacks, and you really don't want any part of that. So, I mean, despite the potential challenges, there's also many ways to overcome the cons of dropshipping and build a successful e-com business with it. One of the key strategies is to choose really good suppliers that have a track record of delivering good quality products in a timely manner. But it's also important, like I said, to have clear communication with your suppliers, and you want to have clear policies for returns and exchanges to minimize customer frustration. And that includes saying up front, like, look, shipping times are like 4 to 6 weeks. Instead of saying you'll get this in 1 to 2 business days. Well, if you say that and then it takes 4 to 6 weeks, of course the customer is going to be annoyed with you and they might do a chargeback, which will really hurt your business, not only in the money that you're going to pay in fees and the refund, but your processor might start looking at that. And if you're using Stripe, they might go, yeah, that's too high of a chargeback rate. We don't want to do business with you anymore, so we're out. So another way that you can kind of mitigate the risks of dropshipping is to diversify your supplier base. So by working with multiple suppliers, you can reduce your dependence on any one supplier and minimize the impact of any potential issues. And also, you consider offering a variety of shipping options to give customers more control over their delivery timeline and reduce the risk of delays, which just means that all these suppliers, usually they are in China, they're overseas, they'll have like the basic shipping, which is super slow and it's the cheapest one. And then they'll also have the faster shipping, which they're going to pay a lot more for. The problem with some of these little trinkets and gadgets and things like that, they could cost you like 30 cents as an example, but the shipping might be like $2. So now you're $2.30 in. Then if you want like expedited shipping, it could cost you like $4 or $6 or $8. So this product that costs you 30 cents actually costs you way, way more to ship it. But you can pass that cost on to the customer if you want. It's just now you're in the situation where if a customer bought something and they bought the expedited shipping and then it doesn't get to them, now they're twice as annoyed with you than they would be if they understood, like, hey, this takes 4 to 6 weeks for a delivery, so be it. But if they paid for the extra fast shipping and they still didn't get it, they're going to be really, really upset with you. So that's a huge, huge problem with drop shipping. Finally, I think it's important, like I said, to be transparent with your customers about the nature of your business model. So make sure your website clearly explains how your fulfillment process works and what your policies are for returns and exchanges. So being upfront and honest with your customers, you can build trust and you can establish yourself as a reliable and trustworthy online shop. So overall, I think with the right approach, drop shipping can be a successful and profitable way to sell products online. But in conclusion, I think it's a viable option for starting a business, but it's important to understand the pros and cons. So while it can be a convenient and cost-effective way to get started, it also requires careful planning and research to be successful. So by choosing reliable, good suppliers, being transparent with your customers about your business model and shipping times, you can minimize the risk and really be successful with dropshipping. But it's also important to remember that, like all this stuff, dropshipping is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Like any business, it requires hard work, dedication, solid marketing and sales strategy. Successful dropshippers are those who were able to identify a niche market, research and source high quality products, and effectively market and sell their products to their target audience. So ultimately, the key to success in dropshipping is to have a clear understanding of your business model, be prepared to adapt as your business grows and evolves, and by staying up to date with industry trends and being open to new opportunities, you can build a thriving and profitable e-com business through dropshipping. Now, all that said, the truth about dropshipping is this: it's not my favorite way to make money online. I've done it in the past and ran into a lot of issues with shipping times being not 4 to 6 weeks, but 6 to 8 weeks long. So that meant my customers were annoyed with me, and rightly so. I was selling this, I think it was horseshoe earrings at one point, because I was in the horse niche big time, and they weren't silver, but they were like stainless steel or something, and they were like an upsell to a necklace that I was selling, and it was drop shipping from China. So somebody would come in, make the order, I would take their information, send it to the supplier who would pack it and ship it, but they wouldn't get it for like about 2 months. So I ended up getting a lot of customer complaints, a lot of bad reviews, and a lot of chargebacks on that product. And that kind of turned me off drop shipping, because I didn't like not being in control, and I didn't like relying on these companies that might not have been 100% transparent with me as the business owner. So I didn't like that at all. So I found, for me, it's not a sustainable business long term. That's why I switched to print on demand instead, which you can use with like Shopify or Etsy. And there's some places still where you can go direct for print on demand. So if you've tried drop shipping in the past, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions about it, about drop shipping or print on demand or making money online. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.